the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you, how's it been working with Jimmy Smith?
I love that guy. I'm
He's
the one who got him
brilliant.
hired.
He's brilliant. He's a very smart guy.
I tried to get him hired about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was, because the UFC was looking for guys. First of all, I was trying to do less commentary because I was traveling too much, and I was trying to do less. I was like, you got to hire this guy. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's really, really good.
He's smart. I love listening to him.
We're doing our first show together in April.
Okay.
The Tony Ferguson Khabib Nurmagomedov fight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Khabib versus Tony is going to be. It's a perfect fight for us.
So who's color and play-by-play then? Is he doing play-by-play and you're doing color?
No. John Anik's doing play-by-play, and Jimmy
John's
and
an
I
awesome
are
guy.
both doing color.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have fun. He's a friend, and he's been on the podcast a bunch of times. We're buddies, so it'll be a good time.
And didn't he cut his teeth doing a TV show about combat sports? Or about
he did. What
about
was that?
fighting around the world or whatever, learning different arts.
Was it called Fight Sport? What was it called?
Something like that.
Fight Quest. Quest.
Okay.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, he did that, but I mean, I think but he also had MMA fights, and he's a legit black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
He
knows his stuff.
Super smart and well-read guy too. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited that he's on board.
Yeah, I always liked listening to him.
Yeah, Bellator fucked up. They fucked up and they let that guy go.
I was wondering what was. I'm not to pry, but my guess was he just asked for more money, probably because he had an offer from the UFC. They wouldn't match it, so he took off, whatever.
They didn't want him leaving for the UFC 4 years ago when I tried to get him hired.
Right.
And there was like a big hullabaloo, and they wound up keeping him. And then I think his contract was up, and I think the way he described it was they actually wanted to give him less money than he was getting. And it's like, I think they're just experiencing some severe budget cuts.
Right,
if you think about Bellator's market, like what they're trying to do, they don't have a pay-per-view business, and if you don't have a pay-per-view business, where's the bulk of all your money coming from? It's like kind of bleeding Viacom.
Right. I just thought, when it happened, I said, why didn't they change the name when Coker was brought in to take over?
Yes.
It made zero sense to me because Bellator had that, from Bjorn Rebney. I've never been a Bjorn Rebney fan. Bjorn Rebney, from that boxing promoter type, whatever it was. And everybody that I talked to in that business, they were all terrified and intimidated and everything else. It was a lot of shit. Yeah, it was just a lot.
I've never met the guy. I don't know anything about him other than the bad things that I've heard from fighters.
Right, and so King
Mo calling him a dick rider. King Mo.
King Mo and I go back and forth on the internet, on Facebook and stuff. I'll deliberately piss him off on political stuff and just get him stirred up.
He's an underappreciated talent when it comes to fighting, too.
Yeah, no, that guy was.
Had some serious physical problems, though, like with MRSA. He had some serious staph infections.
Right.
Some real bad ones that wrecked him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That fucking shit scares me.
He's a great guy, though. We talk now and then when I see him and stuff.
Guy.
He is. Yeah. He's a cool dude. And but God, where were we? What were we talking about? But
Bellator.
Yeah, but
Bellator. They should have changed the name. Yeah.
It's just synonymous with tournaments, and a guy loses the title, and suddenly he's thrown back into a tournament. He's already made his name.
Yeah, it's just a
shitty business model.
Yeah,
and Bellator was for the Spanish-speaking crowd, right? Wasn't that what they were trying to get out of that whole thing?
I think it's a Latin word, right? I think it's or a Roman word for gladiator or some shit. But yeah, it started out as. Wasn't it on like ESPN Deportes or something like that?
Yeah. It just didn't make sense with Coker taking over, and I don't want to watch the Geritol Posse fight.
That's all they're doing.
I don't want to see a Pat Miletich fight. I don't want to see it. Right? Everybody's I love some of those guys.
Right.
But I don't want to watch it.
I agree.
It's it's a young man's sport. It's guys that are animals, fast movers, just beasts, invincible human beings in their mid-20s to 30, whatever, early 30s. A guy that's 45 years old, it's just
not just 45, but 45 years old with MMA miles on them.
Yeah.
That's the real issue.
Right.
It's that these guys, their bodies have been beaten up for so many decades in the gym and all the years of wrestling and kickboxing, and they're just not the same.
No.
No. Yeah.
It takes its toll. It definitely takes its toll, and you're just not the same.
I mean,
guy.
there's part of me that respects the shit out of a guy like Royce Gracie. He's still a fucking savage at 50 years of age, ready to throw down with anybody.
He wouldn't fight me.
He wouldn't?
Son of a...
When was this?
I've been trying to. I mean, with Bellator, I said, freaking get Gracie to fight me. When he was fighting Shamrock, I confronted Shamrock on Axis.
That was one of the worst fights that I had to call.
It was bad.
Was when Matt beat the shit out of him. When Matt took his back and was smashing him. And I was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, this is so mismatched.